Hi, welcome to Financial Education for the Nation. I'm Warren Shute. I'm here today with Paul. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Hi, Warren. I'm good. You okay?
Very good. Very hot today. Bit hot, bit
Yep.
bothered, a lot slower. Feeling a little bit lethargic in my approach, but enthusiastic for this session. So,
As
hope,
always. Okay. Well, I thought we should tackle lasting power of attorneys. You've talked quite a bit around them, and let's just delve into them a little bit more, just as a quick one for a hot day.
sure.
Um,
Okay.
so, what are they? LPAs. What are they?
It was actually described to me simplest by an American client. Okay, and she called them a living will, and I've never really thought of them in that way before. But I guess they're a living will. So what they are is they're a legal document, okay, produced by the Office Public Guardian, and they allow you to appoint people, individuals, attorneys, to act on your behalf. In a nutshell, that's what they are. So you lose capacity. It's not quite true because if you need someone to act on your own behalf, you can appoint somebody else to do it. Now, we want you to do them in case you ever lose capacity. So let's say, for example, you have an accident or heaven forbid you develop some kind of dementia, which can happen at any age by means. It's not just the elderly who get this. Your attorneys can step into your shoes and make decisions on your behalf. So that's in a nutshell what a power of attorney is.
Okay, and so this isn't just for older people then, because they're very commonly associated with people kind of going into care and that type of thing.
They are. And that's the shame about them. That's the misconception. I'll have a client come in their 30s and I'll drill home to them the importance of having the three essentials. Remember, emergency cash, a will, and power of attorneys. And they kind of think, my grandparents do that. I don't need to do that just yet. But you do. Heaven forbid, people have car accidents. People just have accidents, fall off of things, knock their head, and lose capacity, or they might even develop dementia. It's not just for the elderly. And
Okay.
these are the foundations, so it's important.
Yeah. So why is an LPA important? What happens if we don't have one?
Okay, good question. Good question. So first of all, there are two forms of a lasting power of attorney. Okay, so lasting LPA stands for lasting power of attorney. There are two forms. The first one deals with your health and welfare issues. So it's called health and welfare, by all accounts. So that means your attorneys, the people you trust who you appoint to act on your behalf, can make decisions regarding your health and your social services care, your welfare. So that might be, for example, talking to the NHS about your medical treatment, about where you might be treated, and if and when you're discharged, where you're most likely to go, what home, if you're going into a nursing or a care home, or whether you go back to your own home or to somebody else's. So it's all to do with your health and your social services care. Okay. The second one is all about the money. It's called property and affairs. It's all about the financial side of things. So this gives your attorneys the right to make decisions on your behalf for financial reasons. So let's say, for example, your current home isn't the most appropriate home for you to live in because of your change in circumstances. Your attorney can now sell your property, acting in your best interests, and move you into a more suitable property and then have the money invested on your behalf. A good example is a pension. Now, if you need to claim on your pension once you lose capacity because you no longer can work, but you haven't already done so, your attorney is going to have to do it on your own behalf. And it is, as a financial planner, it's incredibly difficult for us to make decisions and act in your best interest if you don't have an attorney in that situation. So we would then work with your attorney about releasing the money from your pension to help pay for the care fees, which is worked after by the other side of things.
Okay. And who's making decisions if these documents aren't in place? What's going on? Who's deciding things for us?
Okay, so if you don't have a lasting power of attorney or an enduring power of attorney, okay, so an enduring power of attorney, this is the date bit coming up, Paul. If you don't have an enduring power of attorney, now they expired
1st of October 2007.
There you go, 1st of October 2007. So if you made a power of attorney before the 1st of October 2007, it would be an enduring power of attorney. Okay, that was the old style. Now, they're still valid. They're still absolutely fine. Okay, so you have one of them. The lasting power of attorneys are more comprehensive, and you should consider arranging these, but you don't have to. Okay, so if you've got an enduring power of attorney or a lasting power of attorney, then your attorneys make decisions. If you don't have either, then it's a deputyship. It's the court of protection. So it's the process of going to the court, getting deputyship, and having someone, your deputy, control your estate. And I sent you some figures through, which we can put in the article afterwards, the online blog post. But it's incredibly expensive. You're talking thousands of pounds, if you remember, for the cost of doing that. It's thousands of pounds to do that, as opposed to if you do an LPA yourself, the cost is about £82 per LPA. Wow. If you're on low income, so if you're on £12,000 a year or less, it reduces by half, so it comes down to £42 per LPA. So remember, there's two of them, so you double that price. And if you're in a relationship, then there's four of you, so you need four of them. Sorry, there's two of you, so you need four of them. And if you're on certain means-tested benefits, you can actually get an exemption, so you get a waiver from the fees at all. So there's not really an excuse for anyone not to do these. Now, if you appoint somebody to draft them on your own, because the forms are reasonably complex, there's lots of questions they ask, and if you're not particularly good at those questions, then you can appoint someone. You're probably going to pay in the region of £150 to £250 per attorney in addition to those fees. Okay, maybe 150, something like that. So, you've got a decision. Do them yourself. You can go to the Office of Public Guardian website, OPG website, and there's some questions there. If you go to warrenshute.com, I've done a very consumer-friendly question and answers in explaining things, what they mean. You can go through and fill that in, and you can either use that when you fill the forms in on the OPG website, or take it to a solicitor, and they'll do it for you. Obviously, there'll be an extra fee for that, or you can send it off to us, and we can arrange them as well. But in essence, there are key people involved with the LPA. Obviously, you making it, typically it's you who makes it. You're the donor. Your attorneys are people you trust to make decisions on your behalf.
Yeah, who should we appoint as our attorneys? What's typical? What's best practice?
Who you should appoint really would depend on your scenario, your situation. But what's typical would be your life partner, if you're in a relationship, your husband, your wife, your partner. Children, typical. Obviously, you've got to trust these people as well, because they do have, although they have a fiduciary responsibility, in other words, they have to act in your own best interests, they do have complete autonomy, complete control. So typically your partner, or maybe your children, that would be normal. You have a notified person. Now, that's no longer necessary to complete. You used to have a notified person, and that would be that person got notified that you were arranging this LPA. So obviously they could then say, well, actually, they haven't said anything to me. I'm going to check with them. They wasn't aware. Then it flags up an error. But that was removed to make the process a lot simpler. And you also have a certificate provider. Now, when I do LPAs, I'm the certificate provider because I'm a professional writing these. But if you're doing it yourself, a certificate provider is someone who's known you for 2 years or more of your life. So you could maybe have a neighbour or somebody at the local bowls club or something like that.
Okay. So we've got good options, and like you say, you can DIY or you can go to a professional, and overriding message here is just get it sorted out.
Absolutely. And like I said, on the Warren Shute website, there is a form on there which does make the questions easier. So you think, actually, I want to try it on my own first. Go and download the form, fill it in, make sure you understand it all. Message me, drop me a message if you've got any questions, that's fine. And then fill it in online. The only challenge you've got is if you are going to end up paying for it and it gets rejected, then your application fee is essentially lost. You then would have to pay an application fee again. But the helpline, the LPA helpline, is very, very good. So if you do get any questions, pick up the LPA helpline and see what they say.
Okay, great. I think that's a really good overview. Thank you.
Right, can I now go back to a cold, dark room and just chill out a little bit?
Sounds good.
Thanks, Paul. Speak to you next week.
Take care. Bye.